Hello.
Okay.
All right. I got the tape rolling, so we good there. I have to finish my last little snorkel there. It's that cognac. There ain't no cognac type motherfucker, but fuck it, it's here. So I'm bringing out the conjugal visit on New Year's.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck with it then. But look, this is what I'm saying. Like, the kid, going back to that kid that shot out them kids in Texas, his go-to was to bring a gun to school and kill somebody because they made you mad or they bullied you or they talked about you or whatever the fuck it was. And see, this is that shit need to be nipped in the bud. And personally, I think he should have been made an example of. But they let this nigga walk. You know what I'm saying? They let him walk. And that's
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. And I mean, this is just the truth. It had to be a lot more to that story for them to let a black kid walk. That's all I'm gonna say.
probably money. Because like you just said, if he's supposed to have some money and this and that, that's the same thing with Kyle Rittenhouse. People them had money. That's how he walked.
He didn't have money. People
Shit.
donated for his cause. Kyle Rittenhouse did not have no fucking money. His mama was on public aid. They was in Section 8 housing. They never stayed in one place too long. That motherfucker did not have any money. Trust and believe. The money that Kyle Rittenhouse had was from all these white supremacists donating to his cause.
Fair enough. Money is money. Don't make a difference where you get it from. You know what I'm saying? But then when he beat that fucking rap, he beat a murder rap. He killed 2 people and shot a 3rd guy. And the nigga walked away from, because Joe Blow verbally said he was gonna kill him. The other nigga hit him with a skateboard or some shit, and then one nigga kicked him. And that gave him just grounds to kill 2 people.
And he should have been charged on a lot of shit. He was impersonating the EMT.
Yep.
He was across state lines. He was underage.
Yep. But that's Wisconsin state law.
His mammy should have been charged for, because, you know, I know that he should have been charged. He definitely should have went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
However, he was a minor. And he was assisted in doing all this by grown ass
with his mother.
He's talking about not only his mama, but the cousin, uncle, or friend, whoever gave him that fucking weapon that allowed him to walk down there. All those adults that assisted him in doing what he did, they all should be in jail too. Because at 17, he knew what he was doing. But when you have adults telling you that this shit is okay, he's thinking this shit is okay. And he didn't do this by himself. And they should all be charged because that's equivalent to contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But see, like I say, them contributions and everything that he got from white supremacists or whoever the fuck he got them from, that's what got him out of there. See, now he gonna be a spokesperson for well, we can't even put him in the NRA because he's too young. But he's gonna be like a Republican motherfuckers want to fuck with him. Up until he said the shit about Black Lives Matter.
I'm about to say, when he started saying he supported Black Lives Matter, it's over. It's over.
But if you notice his body language, hold on, because I got to turn the camera off for this. If you notice his body language, all while he was saying, I support Black Lives Matter, his head was like this.
But he said it.
He
so people
said
are gonna catch that part.
Body language is just as powerful as what you say.
Well, he said it. Now let's look and see if he gets them jobs that everybody was trying to line him up for.
No, they pulled a lot of
shit.
Exactly. Right. Because he said the wrong shit. So now you're gonna be ass out. You out of jail. You good there. But now you ass out. Arizona.
He also had pending charges because he beat up a girl. Did y'all see the video of him beating up that girl?
No.
Yeah, he was knocking the shit out that girl.
What? White girl?
White girl.
Damn,
So
he beat up the
you
bitch
know he's
out.
gonna probably get charged for that because how dare you touch a white woman?
Oh
Shit.
shit. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that unless you
Well,
got a whole lot
but
of
aren't they going to charge him with
reckless endangerment.
like no, aren't they gonna file some kind of civil lawsuits against him or something?
How you gonna
I
get
mean,
him?
they could do it, but I mean, where they gonna get the money from? Because
I don't think that's an issue. Like, I think it's just, even if they don't get any money from him, I think that it's just some, make him uncomfortable where you can since he ain't going to jail.
You can. I mean, you can bleed him for some more money. He gonna have to get another lawyer. They'll donate to him.
oh wait, speaking of court cases, you see the Supreme Court is trying to toss out Bill Cosby getting freed.
Ain't that a bitch?
This nigga 90 years old.
They steady trying.
Girl,
Look, 1 foot in the grave, the other one on a banana peel.
but
Yeah.
that's not what this is about. This is about destroying his legacy. And that's really what it's about. It's about, like, I don't care. Like, I don't believe that he did what he did. And I certainly don't think that first of all, if he did that shit so many times, why are you taking pictures with him? And why are you in his room that early in the morning? This man got a wife. Like, you're looking for what you're looking for. And I don't believe he did it. Having said that, I think that if you think about Bill Cosby and what he actually, as arrogant as people talk about, what he brought to us was like, it meant something, and it formed a lot of us. Like, I remember, like, you talk about the Cosby Show. Cosby Show was a spinoff of A Different World, and then you had all these movies, and you if y'all remember growing up, I don't know if y'all did this on the West Side, but you wore those college jerseys, those Harvard and Yale. And you talked about going, like, it was a thing to go to college. It was a thing to visit HBCUs when we were growing up because it was portrayed on TV. Like, he made it so that people that, if you never thought about college, that was a chance to not only think about college, talk about college, but actually see college life and what it looked like for people that look like us to go to school together. So they're trying to kill a legacy because what he instilled was Black pride. They talked about further education. And
But they done already killed that damn legacy. Look at the shit we see now. They've been and killed that legacy.
I don't think it killed a legacy because you had a lot of kids during that time that never even thought about college, going to those HBCUs. Like, HBCU wasn't important. Like, that was the thing to do when we were growing up, to go to an HBCU. That was the shit. That's all you talked about. You heard people going to college, they talked about HBCU. So I don't think that was it. But you also saw a Black family, a Black successful family functioning, and they showed their kids in different stages going through the same shit that we all went through. So they weren't perfect, they were flawed, and they handled it in a way that is not portrayed on TV today.
Oh my God. And guess what? Remember, Vanessa got into a fight because she was getting bullied for being rich. Do you remember that?
Yeah, Vanessa got into a fight when Denise dropped out of school. Sandra got married to Elvin. Like, it was the thing about the Cosby Show. It depicted a life that was not ghetto. It showed a family. I mean, like a real family. Right. And we could relate to that, and we saw that. And when you talk about, like, even Denise in A Different World, even how The Different World spun off after she left. A Different World became a platform for a lot of us. We watched it because they looked like us. They went to school. They were educated, and they were different. So you had, like, Summer, who was that her name? Summer.
Yeah, she was in hippie. Yeah. Talking about
Freddie. Freddie was, she was different. She was a Black girl, but she was a different kind of Black girl. You had Jaleesa, who was a single mother, but she was like, you had a lot. Ron, Dwayne, Whitney, like, you had these Black people who didn't live the same kind of life. So you saw that not all Black people did the same thing. All Black people didn't all listen to rap. Some Black people listen to this. Some Black people look like this. So you saw people that look like you doing different things, and it made it okay for you to be different. You didn't have to fit into what people told you look like. So when you talk about his legacy, that's part of his legacy. All that is part of his legacy. And they're trying to kill that because if they can put him in jail for that shit, they can. Because remember now, when he went to jail, they cut off the Cosby Show, right? But when Charlie Sheen ass was running around here spreading AIDS, they didn't stop playing men that what's that, 4 men, 2.5 men. They didn't stop playing that shit. It didn't miss a beat. They still playing it now. But when Cosby went to jail, they stopped playing that shit. And it's a reason behind that. It's a positive connection with black people, black family, black love, black pride. It taught you even remember when they had like the singers on there, when they had poets on there, when they talked about different things, they talked about slavery, they did like the night and day, Ray Child, like they did a lot of stuff that put you in the mind of our families. It reminded you, it reminded me of things that my parents used to do, or songs that, you heard your great aunt sing or something like that. That meant something to us. So if they can take that away from us, that's essentially destroying his legacy, because it was intended for us.
The closest thing I've seen to that, honestly, is Blackish.
Yeah, Blackish isn't as close. I mean, Blackish is like a kind of watered down version of the Cosbys. It's got a lot of satire in it. I think the Cosbys was more of a genuine family. You felt like they were a real family. Not to say that Anthony Anderson, and I fuck with him. I like him. He's cool, but he's never gonna be Bill. Never, not in a million years.
No, there's only one Bill.
But they put Blackish up there, like what it reminded me of was like Jewish and all this. And I didn't really like the title at first. And then like I watch Channel 9, so it'll just pop up on the TV and I'll look at it. I'm like, it's not a bad show, but it's not, I think it's nowhere near what the Cosbys was, and it's not going to run as long as the Cosbys did. And then that's just the Cosbys that most of us are familiar with in the 80s. Now, I actually have the actual Bill Cosby show that came on in the 60s on DVD, and he never stopped. He was doing this shit in the 60s. Now, it was just him by himself, but he worked in a school. He worked in a school like a gym, kind of like a gym coach or something like that. And he would be dropping jewels and shit in the Cosbys. A lot of motherfuckers don't know about it, but if you ever get a chance, look up the Bill Cosby Show. It came out in the 60s. It's dope. Quincy Jones did the score for it. Well, not the score, but he did the theme for it, like he did for Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
And it's a show that was 20 years prior to the Cosby Show. So there was the Bill Cosby Show, and then there was the Cosby Show. So he never stopped. There's just a lot of people, maybe he wasn't as popping. I mean, I know he did a lot. He did some movies back then, like he did I Spy. Like I always been and I always will be.
Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again. Those are some of my favorite
I
movies.
love Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again.
Uptown Saturday Night is the shit with Hiawatha. What was his name? Hiawatha something. Biggie Smalls. That's what Biggie Smalls come from.
You're right. True. Like now you have Portier up in there. Now see, I personally wish Bill and Portier would have came out with like 10 movies. They worked so well together. And they was like basically the same era of comedian. Well, Portier was an actor. Bill was a comedian and an actor. But they worked so well together. And a lot of Black folks didn't like Portier. And I never understood that. I had a lot of respect for Portier. You know what I'm saying? Because he was getting in the role, like he was more mainstream. Well, Bill was mainstream too. But Bill would still do more. Well, yeah, Bill would do more Black shit than Portier did at that time.
Well, Portier don't really, he's from the islands, and there's always this contention between Black people that's on the main, that's from the States, and Black people, otherwise.
I didn't know that. But that makes sense because a lot of folks, like those people do not want to accept the fact that they're Black. And then they want to distance themselves from so-called Black people. Like
that's because of the media. They see the same shit that all these other people from other countries see, and that's how they think it is.
Yeah, but they also benefit when they bring their ass over here. They benefit from everything that we've been through. So although they see the media, and we're talking about anybody that looks like us, Africans, Caribbeans, anybody that looks like us, when they bring their ass over here and act like we not shit, they benefit from every civil rights movement, every struggle, every dog, every water hose, everything that we've had to endure. They have benefited from without having to actually endure what our ancestors endured. So I don't have any respect for anybody that comes over here and treats us like shit because they benefit from everything that we've had to endure.
Indeed.
Yeah, you're right.
Slavery was everywhere. We got to also factor that in too. But some of us, we like I said, it'd be great if we lived in a black neighborhood where we had Jamaicans and Africans and Haitians and Belizeans and people from South America that all lived amongst each other, but they go in they go in their own, they want to separate. You know what I'm saying? And we can't force them to come live amongst us. You know what I'm saying?
But it's not just them, it's us too. We have that prejudice too. I've heard people, I don't like Africans, or I don't like when did we start letting these white folk dictate to us why we don't like each other? And that's essentially what's going on. We're letting white people say, because you'll hear black people, oh, you know how them Jamaicans are, you know how them Africans are, so on one side you have these people that come in, and not everybody feels like that, but it's coming from both sides. And until we realize that, damn it, we just got dropped off from the boat in different places, we're the same damn people.
Yeah, but to see, I'm gonna tell you how it goes. I'm gonna tell you how it goes because Joe Blow over here got 2 pennies more than me, so I'm better than you now, or I got a bigger house than you, or I'm this skin tone and you that skin tone, or whatever little petty difference. That's all Jim Crow shit that we all still to this day perpetuating. Okay, because so-and-so is Jamaican, or so-and-so is black, I don't like him. Or so-and-so is from Africa, he's from West Africa, he's from South Africa, I don't like him. So we perpetuate that Jim Crow shit, but we do have a choice in this. See, we have a choice as to how we want to conduct ourselves with our people and with everybody else. Now, when white folks come around, a lot of us will show the utmost respect and talk courteous and change the way we talk and straighten up and all this bullshit.
Man, ain't that something?
Right, but it's the truth. Because when we go to a job interview, we don't talk the same way we talking right now. We straighten up, we get all professional, we dress all nice, but we don't do that with our own people. Why is that? That's brainwashed like a motherfucker. And see, we could do that if we chose to do that. But see, there's a lack of respect. There's a lot of self-hate going on amongst all melanated people. See what I'm saying? Now, I remember when I was in Hawaii, when I was in the service, and it was kind of a culture shock there too, because the locals loved us. And you look at the locals and they'd be just as brown as you are, hair as kinky as you are, but we called them locals. They was basically Samoans. But they didn't fuck with white people. They used to call them Howley. as a term, they used to call them, we don't fuck with them Howleys, bro. We don't fuck with them. And this and that. But they loved us because they were us. And it took me 10, 15 years up the road to realize those are your people over there. These are islanders. Ain't no such thing as a native white islander. Nowhere. Those are black people over there. Now, granted, they didn't got colonized, and you got a lot of Filipinos over there, a lot of Asians over there now, just like everywhere else in the world. But those locals, so-called locals, like just no different than Native Americans and arguably Mexicans, they come from us. But they let the white motherfuckers separate us so it make our numbers look low. But if all these melanated people knew that they all came from us, then white folks would know that they outnumbered. Because we got Mexican, Samoan. Right, that's the thing. When you come in with these different categories, African American, Mexican, Native American, African, goddamn it, all these different categories of people, that keep people separate. And then, like you say, now check this out. Far as the news, okay, they broadcast the shit that happened in the Middle East over here in the States. So that's why hence the term Chirac. When we think Iraqi motherfuckers is wild, they shooting at each other, this and that. Who's to say they're not showing the same thing about Chicago over there? Or about LA over there? See what I'm saying? So this is how you control the narrative, because they own the media. But see, don't nobody come and take the time to poly with a motherfucker. Yeah, the Middle Eastern cats will come in your neighborhood and set up a business, but they don't really poly with us. That's all business. They don't live amongst us. They go back to their neighborhoods where their people are. And black folks is by ourselves. Even though we come and support your business and all this, But we
Well,
don't.
but that's our problem, Kennard. Because at the end of the day, you should not be supporting anybody who does not put back into your neighborhood. And as much money as they make in our neighborhoods, we should require more. And we like that's the biggest problem with Black people is that we don't bind together and use our economic power to fight for the shit that we want in our neighborhood. Like these folks should not be able to just come in our neighborhoods and post these ugly ass signs outside, not sweep up, not clean, inside smell like shit, but you're still going in there. If we keep on patronizing them, there's no reason for them to do any better if they're getting our money. Because you're still giving them money. They'll change their tune if we stop giving them money. When we start, and this is just for the women. When you go into these stores, like I don't go into the stores. I don't fool with them at all. But I've been in stores and hey baby, nigga, you a little too familiar. Did I roll over in the bed with you? Did I look at you in the morning? But what you can't do, you can't go over to their neighborhood and talk to their women like that. Absolutely. And us as Black women, we have to stop. This shit it's not cute. It's disrespectful. I'm in here to do business with you. I'm not your baby. I'm not your sweetheart. We ain't cool. We ain't homies. And when they start talking to you like that, they're becoming familiar with you and they're setting you up to say something more disrespectful than hey baby. Yeah. And that's when they get to feeling on you and saying other stuff to you, but you can't go into their communities and speak to their women like that. They wouldn't have it. Why are we allowing them to do that in our neighborhoods? Like we need to stop. We need to put them all out of our communities. Anybody who wants to do business with us, we should have a standard for them. And when they don't meet that standard, we need to collectively stop spending our money in their stores and shut their ass down, make them go back to their communities.
What's fucked up about that is even if a Black person came and put the same store up in there, you know it will fail. Yep. And this is why. This is why, because let's just say a gallon of milk is $3 in the Arab store. If a Black person walk into a Black store and the shit ain't close to free, they're going to have a problem with it. It's too much money.
You ain't lying.
Well, but you know, hey, but don't nothing be the failure but a try. And you have to start somewhere. We can't always say, well, if Black folk do this, this is going to happen. You might be surprised. Black folks want to see Black folks in their communities again, period. I grew up on 79th Street. When I grew up on 79th Street, there was nothing but Black-owned business. Nothing but. You could go from Stony Island to Jeffrey, and you could pretty much get everything that you needed. And most of the stuff was Black-owned. We did have I think we had an African-owned private dime store on the corner of Jeffrey, but most of the stuff was Black-owned. People want to see Black-owned stuff, and that's not to say that you ain't gonna get some niggas that think that because you Black, they should get something for nothing or a discount or whatever. But those are people that you just gonna have to look over and deal with. But in order to get our community back, there are some things that we're gonna have to take a chance on, and that's some shit. Putting the store in our community is something we have to take a chance on, unless we're gonna be at the mercy of everybody else who comes into our community and give us bullshit. We're gonna have to start somewhere.
Well, one thing we know for sure is the problem is that, you know, if you set up a Black business in a Black neighborhood, you got to worry about these niggas coming and blowing your head off for whatever money's in the till. Now, they won't go do that with the Arabs or the Italians or the Chinese people. You ain't heard about no beauty supply. Chinese dude got his head blown off because they came and robbed him. They might snatch and grab, but they won't come up in there and kill him. But they'll come up and kill a Black person. This is what it is. This is the state that we're at right now. So but
it's almost like there's an excuse. There's always an excuse why not to do it. We have to do it. Like,
but I'm saying, I understand it has to be done. But what protection do we have? How many Black folks are going to get up? It's no different than that. I made a video about this today too, and I was really upset about it. But the lady that was driving the armor truck that got shot up by the nigga, and then it was basically 4 niggas that came and ambushed them and tried to rob them. They killed her, put the other one in the hospital. Then they ride and they go rob a cell phone store, kill 2 guys in the car. And then what do they get rewarded with? Fucking jail. That's what they get. That's what they get for going and killing 4 people, 4 Black people. That's a problem. Now we talking about Black folks that's minding their business in a Black neighborhood that's going to do a job, being productive citizens, and they got to worry about fucking niggas coming up in there and shooting them up. This is a 60-something-year-old woman. Where's Black Lives Matter when this is going on? Where's the fucking protests at? That's what I'm waiting for. Where's the rioting and looting for that? That really hurts me. No, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan
of protesting.
Look, I'm gonna cut y'all off. I just want to say something real quick. I don't cut y'all off. I'm not a fan of that. But niggas are going hit the streets and do that dumb shit for stupid shit that had nothing to do with us. That happened 5 states away. But right here in Chicago, hit a 63-year-old woman. Somebody's grandmother got shot up behind a fucking botched robbery, and you niggas did nothing. You niggas sat back and let it happen. My point is, we have no protection. We have no protection from nothing. If we go and set up a business, or we're going to work in a black neighborhood, we got to worry about black people coming to kill us. That's the reality of today. That's the reality. And some 15-year-old kid who trying to hit a lick want to come and blow your brains out.
I think you have to navigate through that. It happens. It happens, and that's just the reality of it. It happens, and it just doesn't happen in Chicago. It happens. However, we have to start somewhere, and we can't let that be a deterrent for us, because it's not exclusive to Chicago, and it doesn't mean that it's going to happen all the time. But we have to figure a way around this shit. Like, at the end of the day, you know, are we tired enough to like affect change? And affecting change is not just putting a store in the community. It's changing the mind and the hearts of those people around us, period. Like, when you talk about those neighborhoods and having pride in what you build and what your neighborhood look like all of that shit will change the hearts and the mind of people, and how you deal with people sometimes will change that too. So we have to affect change, like, and affecting change is more collectively community. Like, my thought is that anything that we put into the community is to grow the community. You want to grow that pride, that love. You want to give back. And the reality of it is, like, we all know gangbangers and dope dealers and all that other stuff, and we know those who have respect for certain people. Mm-hmm. And you can become a respected part of that community. It doesn't mean that you are encouraging what they do, but you can garner that respect. You can garner that love from them, where they won't let shit happen to you, because you are now a part of that community that stands for something, that it means something. And one thing that I do know about street niggas, they respect real, period. Whatever that look like, they respect real. So if you come in there and you ain't no gangbang, you ain't no nothing, and you in there trying to sell and make your community better, you might have some that'll look out for you, right? But you also might have, you shake your head, I've seen it. You also might have people in the community that will look out for you too, because remember, it's still a community. So what you want to do is you want to connect the pieces in the community, so that you're forming a community again, or what a community used to look like, a neighborhood used to look like. And so you will have people that will help and assist, or will look out, or will, try to do better. And you always gonna have some niggas that's gonna buck, but we got to start somewhere. Like, I don't think that there's not a reason to not do it, because you're gonna have niggas that buck. We could get a pistol, and we got to keep it moving.
Hey, what you think about it?
I'm just sitting here listening. I mean, I agree with what Alicia is saying. Yeah, we do have to kind of have to, like she said, nothing beats a fail but a try. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man. It's like, it's so weird. When I say it's weird, we are weird like that. We'll sit there and they won't fuck with them. Like you said, they won't fuck with these Arab stores and stuff like that.
Not at all.
Not so much. But if it's a black person, because if they don't value, when they look in the mirror and don't value who they see, they're not going to value nobody that look like them.
Exactly. So why would they value somebody who's minding their own business, going to work every day in a black neighborhood, or a black person, an old man that set up a little storefront or something, minding his own business, trying to get back to his community? Why would they respect that?
Well, you have to guard you. I don't know. That just, like, to me, it's like all the reasons not to do what needs to be done, and it needs to be done, and it needs to happen. So you may have a couple that don't respect somebody putting in the store and minding their own business, but you might have a lot of people in the community that appreciate it, and And so those people that appreciate it, those people that need it, you know, you have to do it for those reasons and not the suppositions or niggas is crazy or, you know, whatever. Because I mean, it is what it is. So if I'm gonna, are you gonna do something that you believe in, or you're not gonna do it because of what came
if?
how? Yeah, I mean, you know, if we're saying that we need to build our community and grow our community, goddamn it has to start somewhere, and it has to start with somebody.
We need protection from these fucking niggas. Then we
Well,
can
damn
build
it, then
community.
What we should do is have our own, not our own police. Well, yeah, shit. We need to have some community people. I don't know if y'all watched The Shy,
Yeah, yeah.
but
No, I've never seen it.
they did try to do that in The Shy, where they basically police their own neighborhoods.
And how phony was that? They had two niggas. wait.
You are
Wait, they
Wait,
focused on two niggas. They focused on two niggas. I'm pretty sure it was more than that.
you are
No,
so
it wasn't. I seen the shot. Look, I ain't missed no episode. I stayed up. I watched every Sunday, and that's.
But what I'm saying is they couldn't tell everybody's story that was doing it, but they had to focus on the main characters that were involved. So
now you speculating. No, there was only two guys. It was
You-
what's his name's brother, and it was a big guy with him. They didn't have
but
no
do
arms.
okay, all right. What I'm trying to say
I seen the
is
show.
I seen it too. But what I'm saying is they not finna go and tell every story of every person who was doing the shit. They had to focus on the main characters that was doing it.
So who were the other people you think was doing it?
All the people that was in the room when Tracy was talking and shit, all them people was policing.
Then why wouldn't they at least show a shot of that?
Because they was, man, it's the show only an hour long.
Come
Not
on.
even that long.
See, look, no. We got to go on the facts. The fact is, it was two people. It was the guy with the little faggot motherfucker that's with the tranny. Him.
Oh God.
Him. It was him and a big nigga. Then neither one of them have a fucking gun. My bad. We good. We small scale. We straight. We small scale right now. Couple more years, we're gonna be bigger. Right now,
has nothing to do with that, but come on.
Okay, look. So anyway, it was two people that was going up to people's houses and knocking on the door and found out that so-and-so whooped this girl ass. So now they finna step in and interject. That shit was not real. In real life,
it was more than two people, Kanar. It was more than two people.
Oh, it was two people.
Man.
Yeah, it was two people.
No, it was not. It was more than two people doing the damn policing. I'm trying to tell you. But the thing is they had to focus on the people in the main characters in there that was doing the shit.
So you say it was everybody? You said everybody that was doing what?
Do you remember when they was having the meetings and shit? All those people that was in that room was doing the policing and shit too. They can't focus on all of them.
Okay, so how many people you think?
Man, I wasn't counting the motherfucking people in the room.
You know what I'm saying? See my point? But you know for sure it was them two that I just named, right?
They were involved, yeah, but they weren't the only ones.
It was the faggot and the big dude. It was a buff dude with no gun. How you gonna walk up to somebody's house on a domestic dispute? Because this is what happened in the show. Domestic dispute. And matter of fact, his boy got shot because of him. That's real. That really happens. Now, how you gonna come up to somebody's house and try to solve some shit going on in his house and confront him about what he doing in his house and not expect to get fucked up? And what happened? He dodged a bullet. His boy got shot. That's real. So you got to come with a little bit more than that. You got to come with a little bit more than that. I said all that to say, you can't just get no... Look, if you're going to have vigilantes out there like that type of shit, you need to have arms and you need to have the law on your side. That's two things that you need. Straight up. If you want to go and police Chicago, which is going to be a bitch and a half because niggas is shooting like a motherfucker. So it's personally, this is my advice, and I've said this before. I don't know if I said it on the show or not, but I say if you got the resources, get the fuck out. Straight up, just go. Just don't even deal with it. Don't try to salvage it. Just fucking go. Go somewhere far, far away and take care of your family because it's too much to deal with when it comes to our people. You got, because like I say, if I
just give up. That's what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying because it's not going to get any better. Look at the judicial system. No, I'm just being real. If a 14-year-old goes out and kills a motherfucker right now, they're going to slap him on the wrist and say, oh, he's underage, So we're gonna hit them. Oh, we might.
You a goddamn lie. They charge 13-year-olds as adults. No, that's
Good.
not true.
I hope I'm lying. Good. Good. Get them the fuck off the street. Because they're not, maybe black people can be safe. Maybe black people can live in a black neighborhood and not have to worry about bullets flying through the fucking window.
Let me say this. Let me say this to you. Those children are somebody's children, and they're being raised by somebody.
And so are we.
So once again, we're talking about a communal issue, period. Like, I'm not saying that they shouldn't go to jail, but we're talking about a communal issue. We are failing our fucking children. We're failing them. So the answer should never be to get the fuck out, because wherever you go, if we're not taking care of these kids and we're not teaching them and we're failing them, we're gonna fail them anywhere we go. So we have to figure out what the fuck we're doing wrong, and we have to fix it. Period. Because it's not just these kids out here; it's our black asses too.
Well, there ain't no 40-year-olds out here trying by shooting.
But they're our children. They're our children. So at some point, we have to take some kind of responsibility and accountability for why they're turning out this way. We have some responsibility to these kids. Period. We do.
Well, we definitely know that the guns and drugs is running rampant. And then now you got the whole social media thing. So niggas is doing a lot of dumb shit just to get famous on social media. Then they go out and they make rap songs about it. They blog about it. They make tweets about it and all this other shit. Then the minute Po9 show up, now it's all, well, I'm gonna get a lawyer. I ain't do nothing. Free so-and-so. I'm sick of this fucking shit.
But you also have people that are our age that be on Twitter and all that other shit, behaving just like them kids. So we're as a whole, we're failing that generation because we're not teaching them.
And believe me, a lot of the problems is a lot of more people that feel like you and just give up. Everybody done gave up on these kids. So why not go out here and do this crazy shit?
Gave up on them after you done fucked them up. And not saying that you messed them up, but they're being taught by somebody. Somebody is influencing them. Somebody has had a hand in their life.
The street niggas is teaching them because the motherfuckers at home don't give a fuck about them. But see,
that's not always true. That's not always true. You know, we trying to fit everybody into this one little thing, which is what white people do. When there's so many different complexities and shit, like dude said, black people ain't no monolith. Everybody ain't got the same situation going on. True enough is a lot of the same situation going on in the hood, but everybody, you can't fit into the same category. Some people, parents work all day, which is why they don't have time to look at their fucking kids.
So
some people don't give a fuck about their kids. You know what I'm saying?
But that gives them the authority to go out and take another person's life.
It gives nobody the authority to do it. Nobody has the authority to do it. But when you don't see the value in yourself, you can't see the value in nobody else.
That's an internal thing, is it not? Guns ain't been invented 20 years ago. Guns been here.
And this problem wasn't invented 20 years ago. This was a design of a breakdown.
And newsflash, let's just be clear. What we ain't doing, we ain't bringing guns in. So they just
we
like
know that, we know that part.
Do you know a black Kennard, do you know a black person would apply a private jet that's shipping this shit into us?
You know, goddamn well, ain't no niggas got
exactly. So if they really wanted this shit to stop, Kennard, they could stop it.
They don't want it to stop.
They bombed the whole fucking neighborhood because they weren't doing what they wanted them to do. Do you think they have a problem with killing us? Like I said, a whole fucking neighborhood in 1985. So the thing is, if they really wanted this shit to stop, it would have been done. They'd have deaded all of this shit.
They don't want it to stop. I agree with you.
Exactly. And our kids is caught up in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like we were, they are too.
But the question is, why don't we want it to stop? We continue picking up whatever white folks throw at us. That's our fucking problem.
Well,
white folks, we got a minute 26, y'all. I'm sorry.
Well, this is my last one because I'm about ready to turn in, y'all.
Okay. What you gotta say, Alicia? I'm sorry.
I just said my question is, after we get through all this, how we fix it? Like, we can sit here and blame and talk about shit all day. How we fix it? What do we do to fix it?
I know how to fix it. is that accountability is a key word there. If these is your kids, you be accountable for your kids, and that's all you got to do. That's how you build the community to be better and stronger and all of that. That's number one. You can't control what everybody else kids do, but you got full say on what your children do.
As long
That's
as
all I'm saying.
a lot of the times, because hell, I know preachers' kids that's been turned into fucking killers.
Well, then
What's their excuse? I know preachers' kids out there
they're
selling
not
drugs.
excused. They're not excused. Not in my eyes.
Okay,
No.
but you saying their parents don't care about them? Their parents ain't doing
I
shit.
never said they didn't care. I'm saying that you need to make sure that your kids.
But you saying that the other kids' parents who ain't preachers don't care?
No, I didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that.
I
He
didn't
didn't
say
say
that at
that.
all.
Okay.
I'm not even implying that. I'm saying
He
that
didn't say
take
that.
care of your kids. I don't give a fuck what your job is. You be accountable for your kids. That's job number one. You brought
But it
up
still takes a
these motherfuckers.
it still takes a community to raise a child. Like it takes a village still.
Part of the breakdown is everybody. Hey, get out my garbage.
The first teacher we know
Breakdown
is
is
the
everybody